Okay, we're gonna get started. I am so excited for this, you guys. Stephanie and Nicole and I just got home from Florida late last night. But we're so pumped. Like I got like no sleep last night, and I like woke up this morning with this fire in me, just so excited to get to work today and get some stuff done. So we're gonna go over some of the stuff, some of the announcements that happened at Green Carpet and some of our takeaways that we got from it, and just talk about where we're going from here and how to end the year strong, because it's crazy. There's only 100 days left in 2019. So that just blew me away when they said that. So first we're gonna talk about the incentive trip. So if you guys, some of you are newer, if you haven't heard, there's an incentive trip that anybody can earn at any rank. Sorry guys, I'm making sure everyone's muted. Maybe. Okay. Anybody can earn this trip. So at any rank, or if you just started today, like you can earn this. So they announced the location. It's at the Margaritaville Resort in Hollywood Beach, Florida, which is close to Miami, I'm pretty sure. They rented out the entire resort. So this is going to be, and it's in 2020. And I'm so excited. And there's so many different ways that you can earn points. It's all on eSuite and it's in your app. And the cool thing in your app is there's like even a tracker on there. If you guys log into your app, it'll show you how many points you have. And if you're in the top 300 right now, it tells you. So you can kind of gauge where you're at. And if it says like you're close and you're in the running, like that just should fuel your fire to keep going, because it's literally anyone's game. It's like so close. The points are so close. And I know that there's going to be more people at lower ranks there than there will be at higher ranks. There will be more rubies, emeralds, diamonds there than there will be presidentials and ambassadors, which is so crazy, but it's because it's all based on what you're doing right now. So if you're fired up and you want to promote, you want to make more money, and you just do the simple things that we've already been doing, which is enrolling people, promoting, those kinds of things, building your team. If you're doing that, you're going to earn a spot on this trip. No doubt about it. So go in there and you can see the points and everything. And there's even more ways to earn points than we thought. Every 500 points you get another 100 points added on. So there's other ways to get it. The other big announcement was conference. Conference tickets are out, as many of you have already heard. Some of you have already bought your ticket, which is so exciting. Conference literally is like life-changing. Like we were at Green Carpet, which was another great event, but it was like not even 10% of what conference is, which is crazy to think about. But Stephanie and I are going to share with you guys like our conference experiences so that you can really grasp what conference really is about and how it can change your entire business. So for those, some of you know my story, but I was in this business for 2 full years before I ever promoted, and I kind of got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I thought I was working. I thought I was doing all the things. I thought I was like doing what I was supposed to do, honestly, and I wasn't. So I decided I was going to get to conference. I could not afford to go to conference, but I knew that if I went, things would change because I had other top leaders, other double diamonds, ambassadors telling us their story. And so I put it on credit cards. I took extra call shifts at work just so that I could get enough money to go to conference. And I was actually lucky to even be able to get to go. I had to move shifts around at work in order to get the time off to go. So I got there. I promoted to executive for the first time, which is the first rank in the company, the night we got there. I bought the Wi-Fi on the plane, enrolled a customer on the plane, and I promoted to executive the night we got there. And my original plan, you guys, was to stay in a hotel room with like 7 other girls that I had never met before, but I found them through the business, and we all needed somewhere to stay for cheap. So we all said we were going in on a hotel room together. Well, about a week before, they all backed out. Every single one of them said they couldn't go. They all had whatever excuse. And I was like, well, I'm still going, but I have no idea where I'm staying because I can't afford a whole full hotel room by myself. So I think this is like a God thing, and it was supposed to happen this way. But Stephanie was staying with our ambassador upline, Amanda, and she, of course, said, come stay with us. Like, I was like, I'll sleep on the floor, I don't care. And she said, you can come stay with us. And so I did, which was very surreal. And then, so we went to conference. You guys might hear us talk about the dark horse story. And that was Mark went on stage at the end of conference, and he pretty much had this whole dark horse story. You can look it up on YouTube. But he said, this is the year that the unexpected come out of nowhere and just take over pretty much. And this whole time he was talking, I literally thought I was the only person in the room in the entire Amalie Arena. It's a hockey arena, you guys, that they have to get for their event because there's so many people, thousands of people. And I was up in the stands. We were up on the top, like the nosebleeds, Stephanie and I had just promoted to executive the night before, and I was just like, oh my gosh, he's literally talking to me. And then they announced bonuses, which if you guys haven't been around for bonuses are crazy. They're life-changing money. I've earned $37,500 in bonuses, just that alone. And that the first one I earned was he announced that day. And he said, if you go Emerald, you're going to get a $5,000 bonus. And I looked at Stephanie and I said, I'm going Emerald. And she looked at me and was like, okay. And then she looked away and was like, this girl's crazy. Like, took her 2 years to go executive, but I'm going to root her on. And so we went home and we just got to work, you guys. We literally got to work. And I threw every excuse out the window. I said no to other things because it just wasn't as important as giving myself more freedom. It wasn't as important as getting out of debt, as moving out of our crappy little duplex that didn't even have heat. I knew we were about to start a family, and those other things weren't important. Hanging out with friends, going to the bar, that wasn't important to me anymore. None of it was. I was laser focused on that $5,000 bonus. And I did it in 2 months. I went Ruby and Emerald in March of that year and earned $5,000 bonus. And so I can say conference was insane. It changed my life. Being there around all the like-minded people, everyone feels the same way you do. And I've never felt like I belonged in one place more than when I'm there. It feels so good to be there. And everyone is so great. So that's my conference story. It changed my life. And if I didn't go to that conference, I guarantee you I would not be where I am today, and none of you would be here. So Stephanie, you want to share yours?
Hey guys. Okay, so don't mind my voice. It's a little raspy today. That's what traveling will do to you. But I've actually been to 2 conferences. So I was at the one that Leanne's talking about with the Dark Horse story, and that conference was absolutely amazing. I cried like no other. Like, I can't even explain like the happy tears and the emotion that like comes over you when you like see these people that are just like you, like literally just like every single one of you on these calls, getting up there on stage and talking about their story and talking about how they were just done with being normal. They were done with the struggle. They were done with living paycheck to paycheck, and they wanted to change lives. And what they did is they put their head down and they got to work, and that's what happened. They started changing lives, and then they started changing their own life. And watching those kind of stories and rubbing shoulders with people that you watch training videos on, or just being in the atmosphere, like Leanne said, just feeling like you belong somewhere, and, you know, looking to your left and looking to your right and knowing like you're in a room full of people dreaming so freaking big. You're in a room full of people who all want the same thing. You're in a room full of people who are all thanking God for putting this business in their life. And that is just like an overwhelming feeling. So my first conference, I went and I was an emerald, and I was just kind of stuck. I don't want to say stuck because I was stuck in my own mind. I thought I was working. I thought I was doing the things I was supposed to be doing to be successful, but getting there and hearing what these people were doing, like the panels of actual training, like them telling you step by step what they are doing, was just like incredible. And I took so many notes. We got home with this fire in our belly, and we just put our heads down and got to work. I promoted to Diamond that year. So February, we were there in February. I promoted to Diamond in August. But when I went as an Emerald, I was not paid as an Emerald. Emerald was my highest rank. I was a Ruby going. I went paid as a Ruby. And so I got Emerald back, I got Diamond, and then I promoted to Diamond. And then we went to conference this last, was it January, February? And I was just fired up. Like, I knew what to expect there. So we were there, and just, I can't even, like, you can't put into words the feeling. It's so hard to, like, describe to you guys how it feels. But I have gone through a lot in the last year. I'm not going to get into that, but I went on my first conference. I had to find the belief in myself that I could do it. And in that year, I found that belief in myself. But this last conference, I went, and it was like, okay, I know that this isn't about me anymore. Being there and seeing, like, I was just like, my team, like, everybody needs to be here with me. Like, I want to change so many lives. So they changed the comp plan, which is like freaking crazy. No company has ever done that before. Like, there's hundreds of MLM companies. None of them have ever changed their comp plan. They announced bigger bonuses. So I went home, got to work, promoted to double. And that's pretty much it. Now I'm like freaking fired up after this last weekend, and we are going triple. We are helping so many people promote. Like, you guys, you have to get to conference, and you'll meet people that are not on our team, and you'll just form relationships that you could have never gotten anywhere else. Like, Leanne is one of my absolute best friends, and we would have not been friends if it wasn't for this business. And I mean, Leanne's under me, but I didn't personally enroll her. I enrolled her enroller who quit. So, like, technically we didn't have a relationship at all. And our first we were friends and, like, had a good relationship, but our first conference is where our relationship actually grew. And I mean, literally, I think I talked to Leanne more than I talked to my husband. And you guys will get these friendships. So that's why, like, find somebody. Like, you see these names on these Zooms, like, or you see the names in our team page, like, you should be friends with everybody on our team, and you should be supporting them and starting to grow a relationship so that when we do go to conference, you guys already have this relationship, and it's just going to grow, and you're going to struggle together, you're going to succeed together, and you're just going to have that family feel. But yeah, so that's my big, like, you can't even put it in words. You need to go YouTube Mark Pentecost Dark Horse Story, It Works Dark Horse Story, and listen to that, because that will completely change your life. But yeah, so that's what I got on the conference takeaway part of it.
I also want to add, I didn't go to conference this last year because I was 38 weeks pregnant. And trust me, I was still trying to find a way to go, but yeah. Stephanie and Blake were like, you're 38 weeks pregnant. No. And I was like, but I can figure this out. And they were like, no. That's how badly I wanted to be there. And You guys, like, I'm not gonna have another baby ever around that time again because I don't ever want to miss a conference ever again. Like, that's how life changing it is. So, and we've talked about the money part in the chat. Like, I know it's a lot of money. It was a lot of money for me and a big deal. And that's why they have our tickets set up the way they do with the perks that come with it. So that literally your ticket is going to pay for itself. It's going to pay for your plane tickets. It's going to pay for your hotel. So that means you get 5 product rewards with your ticket. What does that mean? That means you can get 5 bags of coffee for $19 a piece. That's cheap. You can go turn around and sell all of those all the coffee for samples, sell them, and you can make up to $500 off those bags. $500 just like that. That should pay for your plane tickets, right?
And think of all the LCs that you're going to sign from those samples. And I just want to add something really small before I forget. My first conference, we could not afford for me to go at all. Like, we were struggling pretty bad. As I say, like, I was an emerald, but I was paid as a ruby, and I had already left my job. So it was hard for me to go, and I sold stuff. I sold some of my baby stuff. I sold clothes. My husband and I did Uber Eats for like a couple days to get spending money for me. Like, we were doing anything and everything to get me there. There was no way I wasn't going to go. And I was literally on OfferUp selling anything and everything I could. I think I made like $300 off stuff just laying around my house to get me there. So there's honestly no excuse. It's just like, if somebody wants this business bad enough, they'll find the $99 to sign up. And you guys have already signed up. So this is the next thing. Like, you need to invest in your business to turn around and get the benefits from it. And the fact that you get these product rewards and the fact that you get 5 discount codes, that's Ruby, you guys. If you sign up 5 distributors, that's 5 fast starts. So that's $500, and you have 5 new teammates. That is, you're overly charted for Ruby right there. So for those of you who have already bought your ticket, like, you should be getting those 5 distributors. And if you haven't bought your ticket, you need to be thinking about getting your ticket, getting those 5 codes, and getting your spots solidified and signing up 5 distributors. So it's $500. Like, there's conference right there, plus the samples. And like Leanne was saying, like, they're set it up that way so that, yes, you purchase your ticket to go, because they obviously have to charge you to go, like, it's a business. You purchase your ticket to go, but they're giving you more than enough back to pay for it. So yeah, that's what I have on that.
Yeah. The fast starts alone will pay for the rest of your trip, for wherever you're going to stay. We're going to all go in on a house together so that we can all stay together and make it cheaper, and, all have time together. And then, so it'll be cheaper to stay, and then you'll have enough money left over with those fast starts for the rest, for the food, all the other spending money that you need. So that if you sell all your samples, you get your 5 fast starts, you have the money right there to go, and some. So that's what my goal is personally, and Stephanie. Like, we are going to write it down, and we're going to check things off as we sell our samples and as we get those fast starts, and we're putting all that money aside to go to conference. We are doing it that way on purpose because we want to show that's how they set it up for a reason, and that's how we're going to go. So I sent these to the chat, but it blew me away when we heard them say this at Green Carpet. These are real statistics that are crazy. And you're like, I don't understand how just like going to this event can really change my life. The statistics don't lie. Like, this is real. 37% of people that go to conference end up getting a raise the following month. Yep. I did. Last year, I didn't even go to conference and I got a raise the next month. But I was like plugged in as much as possible. People that go to conference are 4 times more likely to promote the following month. Yep. That's what we both did. So You get five. Oh, wait. I thought I had one more.
There is one more.
I think it was if you are a Ruby or Emerald going into conference, you had.
You're times more likely to promote to Diamond the next month.
Yes. So if you imagine getting Go Ruby before conference, Go Ruby or Emerald before conference, you are very highly likely to be a Diamond by March, making $2,000 a month. Very, very highly likely. Plus, there's probably some sort of bonus or something on top of that.
They're going to announce, they've already said for sure they're announcing products at conference. And they always announce something. So whether it be bonuses, code, like we don't know what it is. This is all just like what they've done in the past. So don't like quote us because we thought that they were going to announce a product at Green Carpet and they didn't. But this is just all stuff that has happened in the past. But generally they announce some sort of bonus, some sort of something huge. Mark tries to top every conference, but from the year before. You guys, this last year, they literally cut our compensation plan. Like, you used to have 5 distributors to go Ruby. Now you have to have 3. So they took off a whole leg off of our compensation plan. Like, how the heck are you going to top that? I'm, like, blown away on how he's going to do this because it's going to be freaking epic. Like, mind-blowing.
And we always think we have like an idea of like how crazy it's going to be. Nobody expected him to change our compensation plan to make it easier to make more money and added ways to make money. Like, who does that? No company does that. Like, it's insane. And there was 16 new ambassadors in this year so far. And that is more than any other year in the total 18 years this company's been around. 16, like that's a lot of ambassadors. So you guys, we are in the right place, the right time, in the right company with the right compensation plan. We just have to capitalize on it and just go for it. Like, so conference is huge. I know they extended, you can get the 5 half off codes and 1,000 extra points towards Margaritaville if you buy your ticket by the 31st of this month.
Yes, and I want to add too, if you do the easy pay option, you don't get your codes till October 25th. So
and the codes expire October 23rd or 31st.
So if you can, try not to do the easy pay option. Try to just, I mean, if you have to do the easy pay option, then you have to do that's what it is. Like, do that. But yeah, if you do the easy pay, you don't get your codes until October 25th, I think the email said.
Yeah. So you'd only have like a week to use them. Whereas right now, we already bought our conference ticket. We already have our codes right now. So that's the difference with that. If anyone has any questions about conference or any of this, like as we go, put it in the chat and we'll answer you guys. But we're going to kind of move on to Green Carpet and like our takeaways from the whole trip and just the whole experience of it because it was so insane. Nicole was there with us. And so and it was her first event ever. Her first any event of anything, It Works. It was her first one. And she went all the way to Florida with us. And so we're going to ask her to share what her takeaways from it was. So you guys get like a perspective of somebody that's, their first time. I unmuted you, Nicole.
Hey guys, what's up, Leanne? Hi, Steph. I am so happy to have an opportunity to share a little bit of my perspective of what I took away from going to Green Carpet. Thanks for giving me time to talk to everybody. So, guys, I was completely starstruck. I am not even kidding you. I felt like I went to this event and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've seen your YouTube. I've seen your story and how this business has changed your life. I love getting pumped up by you. And I have these encouraging teammates that I finally got a chance to meet face to face, my leaders. I got to actually hang out with Stephanie and hang out with Leanne and take a lot away from just being around them. And so for me, it was a big deal to finally just meet everyone face to face. So what I took from going to this event is that I'm the type of person that likes to connect face to face. I really took that away. Like, we're all real people with real lives that go through the same things. And so for me, it was really special to actually get to hang out with you guys. So that's something huge that I took from Green Carpet. Just how real everyone is and how relatable it is. We kind of got a chance to talk about why they wanted to join. You were making this connection, and you were really going to do big things together, and you were going to see this business change their life, and you were going to be a part of that. And everyone in the room raised their hand when we were asked, have they just completely ignored you after they signed up? And they just made themselves relatable and said, me too. And so one thing I really liked about going to Green Carpet is that I felt like, even though there are these top leaders over here making really wonderful money in the company, what I'm going through is nothing different than what they're going through. So that's something really special that I felt like I got to take from Green Carpet as well. It's kind of hard to talk to everyone. Like, I don't know why. What were you going to say, Steph?
Sorry, my internet's cutting in and out. So just, you guys can keep going. I'm going to mute myself.
One thing I really liked about going to Green Carpet is how there were all these tips for that they want to share, because in this company, we want to see each other be successful. And I felt like this sense of family and togetherness. And so one thing I loved about going to this event is just that closeness that I felt with, it's like fellowship. It's like going to church. It's real different having like 1 or 2, 3 people doing a real private Bible study than it is when you go to the congregation and you're with a whole bunch of people and you're all singing together. Like, the vibe is just different. And that's what it's like when you get a chance to go to one of these events, is we're all really excited for each other. Everyone has something to share that can help advance your business. So for me, it was just really different, because I got a chance to connect on that face-to-face level, see how what I'm going through isn't any different than the top leaders in our company, and they just have pushed through. And they also have had a journey that's been longer than mine. And so it's okay that, because I started in November, that I'm not an ambassador. That's okay. But because their journey is different than mine, and sometimes it takes a really long time to get where you're trying to go. It just depends. And when you're ready for it, God will have that blessing for you. And I have this board behind me that like really encourages me, that y'all said that we should make like a dream board, or a vision board. And I've had it ever since I started, and everything I've checked off of my vision board. Traveling to Florida, I could not afford to travel to Florida. I was like blown away that I was even there. It's just emotional just being there, because I could not afford to go. And like everything lined up. Like, I felt like God really wanted me to go and just see like the vision that he has for me and this business, and that I can do it if I have faith in myself. And I think that's one thing that, sorry to cry, guys. I think that's one thing that like Green Carpet did for me, is like, it just showed me that if I assert myself, if I say like, hey, what I need, like my friends are willing to help me. You guys, Stephanie and Leanne, are nowhere near my rank. They don't have to hang out with me. We don't have to room together. We don't have to rent a car together. But we're all really there for each other, because we're all just really real. And we just want to succeed, and we can only really do that together. And so Green Carpet just showed me that we're in it together. Like, there were so many good tips. I just want to share one of them, which is like, not trying to be everyone's person. You're going to lose everyone that you're supposed to be speaking to if you're not authentic. You're going to forget what it is that you said too, because you were trying to be a blanket and be everyone's person. And don't lose yourself in this. Be finding yourself in this. I'm really finding myself this year, and let it be the journey where you're finding yourself. You're going to find that person that wants you to join your team. It's okay that one of my girls that joined my team quit. She's still finding herself. She can come back too. It's okay. She can come back. Her debt's probably still there. She can come back. This is awesome. We'll show her how she can be successful at doing this, because Leanne and Stephanie, they're great leaders, and if you let them, they will show you how you could be successful at this. So you're just not alone.
That was so good. Thanks for making me cry. It was amazing to have you there with us, and just I can't even put into words, like, when you guys just have to go. Like, there's just no words. Like, you just have to go to conference, and that's I shouldn't. Neither Leanne and I were gonna go to Green Carpet either. Honestly, we had bought our tickets because when you buy your tickets, you got codes, and we were like, okay, well, we'll want the codes. And I was like, I'm not gonna be able to go to Green Carpet and then turn around and go to conference again. Like, not gonna happen. And so it was like, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago. It really wasn't that long ago that Leanne's like, oh, okay, we're like, I'm for sure going. And I was like, okay, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to go, because we're trying to pay off debt. We're trying to buy a house. Like, the extra money to go was not where I wanted to be spending. I wanted to be spending it there, but I was just like, oh, we're trying to be really good. But like Nicole said, like, everything just lined up perfectly. And you guys, it is such a God thing. Leanne and I, our flight got delayed in Houston because of a flood. Our layover was in Houston, and our flight, so we land in Houston, and Houston is flooded. They canceled all flights. They canceled over 500 flights, and we got on the only flight out of Houston, literally the only flight out of Houston. It was the craziest, most, like, I can't even, it was so crazy. We're just like, 1 minute we were trying to figure out like what the heck we were going to do, and next minute we were like getting on the only flight out. I'm like, how did all this just happen? And it was like, all glory to God for that, because we got out safely and we made it there, and we made it there to get poured into so that we can come home and pour into you guys. So I really want you guys to take this seriously. Everything that we're telling you guys and everything that we have to offer you guys is serious, and we want to see you guys succeed. All right, Leanne, where do you want to go from here?
Do you want to share like your biggest takeaway from the event?
Sure. Okay. What's my I'm going to read one thing really quick, and you guys probably see me post it on my story, but it is something that Mark said in our event, and I wasn't going to do this, so I didn't have it prepared, so just give me one quick second to find it.
You stole my takeaway, jerk.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Is that what we're going to do?
Go ahead.
That's what you get for letting me go first. Okay. So here's what Mark said. He said, in life, we arrive at mountaintops and we think we've arrived, but God has higher mountains ahead of us. And sometimes Jesus will say to us, hey, do you want to go up to that mountain? And I'm just crazy enough to follow him there. But I expect a magic bridge to appear like Indiana Jones, and I picture myself running across to the next mountain. But Jesus says to me, didn't you know that bridges are man-made? I didn't make bridges. From mountaintop to mountaintops, I made valleys. So you guys, in this business, you're going to get to a place and you're going to look at your next place and you're going to be like, I can't get there. So maybe you're a brand new distributor and you're like looking at your 4 loyal customers, or you're looking at Ruby or whatever, or maybe you've got your 4 loyal customers and you're on this mountaintop. you have to go through valleys. That's where you grow. The valleys in life, the valleys in this business, that's where you grow. To get to the next place, you have to go through the trenches. You have to go through the valley to get to the next mountaintop. With every new level comes new devils. Okay, so every new thing, every new place you're trying to go has its new devils, you guys. Every rank I've hit in this company, new things have been brought onto me, new obstacles, new things that I thought I would have never been able to conquer. But you guys, with self-growth, that has happened. So my biggest takeaway is my biggest takeaway is just to pour into yourself. You hear every single leader get up on stage, and first, my absolute favorite thing about this business is every leader that talks, the first thing they say is they give all glory to God. And that is just like, to be in a business that people are making millions of dollars and they know that they didn't do that alone. Like, I am so happy to be a part of that kind of business. A place where the company wants you to grow as a person. If you guys see our 6 list that we give you guys every day, number 1 is self-development. If you go to a 9-to-5 job, do you think they care if your mind is right? If they did, they would give you personal days. If they cared about your mindset, you would have time to pour into yourself. Your 9-to-5 doesn't do that. You're in a company that wants you to be 100% the best person that you can be. And so my biggest takeaway is just seeing all these leaders, and all they say, like, you don't have to work this business 24/7. You don't have to be on your phone 24/7, but you do have to be mentally there all the time. You have to believe in yourself, and you cannot get to where you want to go unless you have that belief, because all the things that the actual, what's the word I'm looking for? The fundamentals, the messaging, the following, the adding to your network, all the fundamentals of this business, like dribbling a basketball, like, fundamentals of this business, you can do day in and day out, and get nowhere. Honestly, you could do everything that you're supposed to do and not get to the next thing. You have to believe you can do it if you want to get there. So my biggest tip to anybody is, if you are not pouring into yourself and you think that we are joking when we say self-development is huge, or think that we're weird because we read a book every day, or think that we're like not serious when we say your mind has to be right, it is true. Your mind has to be right. Leanne and I have came a long way with our mindset, and we'll see things happen in our business. People leave. You guys, people leave, okay? We'll see people leave, and it used to devastate us, and it's still sad when people come and go, or it's hard when we get bad messages. But if your mind is right, it's just another day. It's just another day. It's just another bad message. If somebody messages me something bad, I'm not going to take that personally. Like, I'm sorry you feel that way, and move on, because I have lives to change. I know what this business has done for me, and so I'm not going to let one message or one bad comment dictate my day, because if I did that, y'all wouldn't be here. Nobody on this call. If I let a bad message get to me, if I let any of that negativity get to me, a single one of you wouldn't be on this call. It's because Leanne and I pour into ourselves every day to be able to pour into you guys, to be able to post on our Facebook and Instagram, to be able to be inspiring. We have to come from a place of growth. We have to come from a place of positivity, a place of, we want this, and a place that we believe we can do this. So you guys, anyone can do it. Like, you literally just have to believe in yourself. The fundamentals, the tasks, everything like that is just a small part of this business. Believing in yourself and actually doing the work is the biggest part.
Okay, so she stole mine, but it's fine. I have like 6, so that just saved us some time. So we heard so many stories. Like, that's one of my favorite parts about going to events is you hear other leaders' stories and you hear, you know, their aha moment or the moment that changed their whole business, or you know, you hear these things, and some of them you're just like, oh, that's great, and some of them just like touch you so deeply that you're like, oh my gosh, like that's me. And one of the moments Stephanie and I both connected on this moment was an ambassador was telling her story, and she said that she got to finally go on her kids' first field trip ever. And they went to the pumpkin patch, and they were on a pumpkin patch ride. And she was sitting there, and she had her kid on her lap, and she had two little girls on each side of her, and she was holding their hands. And she realized, wow, I will never, ever miss another field trip ever again and let another person hold my kid's hand. I won't allow it. And she got her ass to work. Excuse my language. So that was a huge moment for me. There's other moms on here, and even if you're not a mom, like, you will find a story that just resonates with you. And that just was like, dang, I don't ever want to miss my kids' field trip. I don't ever want to miss an event. I don't ever want to miss a sporting event. Like, that was a big thing growing up, as I was in sports, and my dad was a single dad, like going back and forth from kid to kid to work, like missing things because he was trying to solely support two kids. And I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to be like, sorry, I'm working. Sorry, I did pick up a shift. I'm not going to be at your game this weekend. Like, I don't want to miss those moments. So I'm working now for the freedom I'm going to have when my kids are that age. And I've already worked hard before I was pregnant so that when I did have a baby, I got to leave maternity, like go on maternity leave and never go back. And that was because I worked my butt off while I was pregnant. Before I was pregnant, I was working for this freedom that I have right now. And like, it didn't seem like it was paying off when I was working those 50, 60-hour weeks, coming home and getting a power hour in before bed. It didn't seem like it was paying off with my $200, $500 paychecks, and I was exhausted. But now that I'm home and I bring in a full-time income and I'm home every day with my baby and I've never missed a moment, it was worth it. It all adds up. It was worth it. So I encourage you guys to just keep going and know you have to have that why that's going to drive you to just keep going. And if you ever feel like you're just like, it's not worth it, if you feel like it's not worth it to work this business, if you're tired and you come home and you just want to go to bed and you're like, I'll message tomorrow, or I don't need to do my 6 list today. If you ever feel like that, your why isn't big enough. You need a stronger reason why you need this. You have to dig deep within yourself and figure out what you want out of life. We have one life. You get to choose what to do with it. If it's working a 9 to 5, and if it's missing things with family or friends, if it's not traveling, if it's not paying off debt, you have to figure that out within yourself. So that was one of my big ones. Another one was literally every story we heard ambassadors and all of these people tell us their struggles. They all had struggles. They all had to overcome things in life that a lot of people use as an excuse. A lot of them were on food stamps, federal assistance, whatever. There was a lot of them that were like one of our top income earners, Jade Hooper, I'm sure a lot of you know her. She always talks about how they couldn't even afford heat in their house, and she had to hang up sheets in the hallway and get all the heat into one room with her baby. Like, we all have struggles, whether your struggles are like that, or if there's something else. We've had people get car repossessed. We've had people lose houses. People file for bankruptcy. Like, these are the real people, real raw people that are struggling. And you either use that as your excuse to why you can't go further, or you just sit there and you feel sorry for yourself, or you pick yourself up and go do something about it and change your situation. And all of those ambassadors had a story like that. None of them were like, oh, I was already rich and now I'm more rich and I just live a great life. Like, no, that's not, all of them had struggles and they've come past all of that and they are where they are now because of that. So I think the biggest thing was like, it's so nice to be able to relate to them and hear them say, yeah, I lost rank. Yeah, my paycheck went down and then it went up 6 times the amount within 2 months. Like, or yeah, like this happened to me in my life, or I had a baby, or I went through a divorce, or, you know, all of these things happen, a sickness, a death. Like, life is going to happen to all of us. You have to prepare yourself. Are you ready for it to happen? Because it's happening. It's going to happen, whether it's a small thing like a nail in your tire and you have to go get a new tire, or if it's your kid gets sick and they need medical treatment and you can't afford it. Like, you have to think full spectrum here.
And maybe you're in a position where you don't have this big why. Maybe you don't know what your why is, and that's fine. That's okay. Maybe you don't have kids and you're like, I can't vision like wanting to be home with them because I don't have kids. Or maybe you do have kids and you're like, well, I don't want to be home with my kids because I've been there. You know, maybe you're a college student and you're like, well, I mean, I just want like $100 or something like that. You don't have to know what your big, like, life-changing thing is right now, but you need to think about your future, because you want to work hard for the future. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if next month your car is going to break down and you don't have a way to get to school. You don't have a way to get to, you don't know if you're going to pop a tire. You don't know if you're going to get sick and have to be in the hospital. You have no idea what life is going to throw at you. And you guys, I joined this business in over $30,000 in medical debt because my son was in the NICU. I didn't expect that. Before we had kids, we were fine. We bought our first house when I was 19 years old. We thought that was like the good life. Like we were just fine. And we got to a point where we couldn't even make a minimum payment on our medical debt because the minimum payment was more than our mortgage. So I've been there, and I wasn't in the business at that time, but you guys, if this business would have came to me sooner, I wouldn't have been in the position where we had to sell our house to pay off debt. We had to sell our house to be able to afford for my child to have the treatment that he worked my ass off for. What?
You're like cutting in and out. You're still like.
Okay, well, I'll just end it there. I don't want to ruin the video.
Okay. What was I going to say? Oh, no matter where you're at in life, there's someone else out there that is doing well with this business that's going through worse life than you. Just know that. And then the last takeaway I want to share is I love this exercise. They do this. I've seen them do it before, but it all starts with one. So what they did was they had one person touch one person, and then both of them touched one person. And then all those people touched one person. And before you knew it, the entire stadium we were in, every single person was standing up. So just imagine if you can go touch one person and they go touch one person and you're touching another person, and how fast things can grow and turn into a whole stadium just like that. It's pretty cool to see it happen in front of you like that at such a grand scale. So don't underestimate yourself in the power of one, because it can grow so quickly, so fast, and you're not even going to believe what just happened. Okay, so those are my takeaways from the event. It was pretty awesome. I have even more notes than that, but that's all I'm going to share. Nicole, your notes were so great. Thank you for sharing that. That was awesome. It was so nice to have you there with us and so fun. And we felt similar how you felt starstruck at our first event, and how you were like, it's so cool that I got to be with you and like us together, Stephanie and I felt the same way being with like Amanda and a bunch of other top leaders. And I was like, I don't even feel worthy of being here. But just know, like, we don't think of ourselves as like higher than you or better than you. We all feel like the same. We feel the same. And we're all the same person. So it's just, we've been doing this longer. That's it. Okay, so last couple things before we end. There, for the local team that is around the Portland area or in Oregon, there is actually some Portland Try-Its coming up. So what a Try-It is it's like a smaller event that you can go to, and they're going to have like samples if you want to bring people to try stuff, and they're going to talk about stories, they're going to talk about the business. They're going to talk, like, people are going to come on stage and like talk about their story in the business. You can bring potential distributors with you for free, and they can hear stories, and I guarantee you if they come, they'll sign up. I end up crying like for half of it because the stories are just unreal, and it's really fun and cool to be in like a place like that. And it's a smaller version of like conference, you know. So there is one October 25th. It's a Friday, and it's in the evening, and it's by Mount Tabor area for any of you local people. So I would love for anybody that can possibly go, let's go. If you have any potentials, bring them with you, make them come. Just say, hey, we just come with me to this and support me. Fun fact, that's actually how I that's how I found out about being a scrub tech. I had no idea that was like a job. And my friend asked me to go to the informational meeting with her. And I was like, I really don't want to go. And she was like, can you please just come with me to support me? And I was like, yeah, fine, I'll go. She didn't even end up applying. I applied, got in, and that became my dream job. So you have no idea like whose life you can change by just asking them to come and just, hey, will you just support me and come? It might change their life. So bring your potentials. There's one October 25th. And then I believe there is one, we're going to share this in the group. I believe there's one in November as well in Portland. So we're going to go to both. They're awesome. They're so fun. And for a lot of you local people that we haven't met, I want to meet you all and hang out. So put those on your calendars. You can see them on eSuite under events. You can look them up. There's also some in Washington for anybody that's in Washington. There's some around the Seattle area and Yakima, I think. And if you're not local, they're all over the country. So if you are like on the East Coast or wherever, go constantly be looking at those events because there's always more popping up and you can find one near you. They're all over the place. We're just excited because there's not very many that are in Oregon or Washington ever. So this is pretty cool. So we're going to take advantage of that. Do you have anything else on that, Steph? No? Okay. We're going to end this here in just a minute. We just want to talk about like ending the year strong. There's 100 days left in 2019, which is insane. I don't know how this year went by so fast, but I want you all to look back on the year so far and your goals. And even if you haven't been in, for this full year, you can look at where you started this year and where you are now and appreciate your growth and check in on your goals that you probably made for you at the beginning of the year and see where you're at and see what adjustments you need to make. And this applies to your business too. Think about where you want to be by the end of the year. Where do you want to be before conference? What rank, what amount of money, or what, like if you need to just be in a schedule, or maybe you are on a weight loss journey, like whatever it is, you guys need to reevaluate your goals and reset. The whole theme of the green carpet was called reload. That's what Mark said. He wore a shirt that said reload. He said, we're going to reload. Everybody needs to reload. Just reset yourself and let's finish off this year strong. And if for a lot of you haven't been around for like a full year's boom season and all that, we call boom season like January, February, March, April, like that's usually boom season. But I want you guys to know boom season actually starts now. Last year, Stephanie went diamond in August. I went diamond in October, and our paychecks grew every single month through the winter months into boom season and through boom season. So boom season starts now. Things are about to get crazy. They're already getting crazy with all the different stuff going on, new products, these half off codes, everything. So boom season starts now, and it's who's working, who's going to capitalize on boom season. Who is going to promote before the end of the year? I am. Like, let's go, you guys. It's time to get serious, figure out your goals, and just don't give yourself a way out. Don't give yourself excuses, and just get after it, because by conference, where do you want to be? And where do you want to be after conference? Every single one of you on this call can go diamond after conference. I believe you guys could go diamond before conference, honestly. So where do you want to be? And just reevaluate yourself. If you guys need help with your goals or you want to talk to us about it, you guys can always reach out to us, because sometimes you have no idea where you want to, like, what you should be shooting for. I'm like that sometimes. I'm like, I don't even know what my goal is. So if you need us to brainstorm with you, we will. But that's pretty much all I have. Stephanie, you have anything else?
A couple things. The promo code for new I don't know if you're looking at the chat. The promo code for the new distributors it's at the end, right?
For them to sign up?
Yeah.
No, it's at the very top, actually. So they have to click at the very top. When they click join, there's a bar that says like nothing's in your cart or something like that, and there's a plus sign. Click the plus sign, and then it says have a promo code, and they click that, and then they enter the promo code.
Okay. Hopefully you got that, Maya.
So it's at the very top. If you guys need me to put that in the group too, I can.
Okay. Nicole said she had one more thing that she wanted to say. You can unmute yourself, Nicole.
So guys, sorry I got all emotional talking about green carpet, but I just wanted to say one more thing, which is that I have this feeling sometimes when I'm working my business and I'm just in my room or I'm just off somewhere doing whatever, of like I'm doing it alone. And I just don't want y'all to feel like that, because it's just like the furthest thing from the truth. And I let it be like the truth for about like a year. And you just don't have to do this alone. And one thing I really got from Green Carpet, and you get this literally like when you sign up, is like our fundamental family values. And it's like, how are we going to be in a family when we're not talking, when we're not conversing, when we're not meeting our favorite coworker and vibing off of them? Like, that's what you need, is that person that you can talk to that's going through the same thing as you, and you guys can talk about ideas, you can brainstorm. That's what I felt like I finally got a chance to do, and I was just hanging out with my girls, like, honestly. So it was just so much fun going through, and you get this, and in your little packet it says that the family values are about blessings, friendship, fun, freedom, and results. And I just joined this, and everything's online, and we all just feel so far away from each other. You have to go to these events so you can experience the fun, the blessings, and your friendships. And you're going to make friends with people that are a part of another team, and they're going to just love you, and they're going to embrace you. And I met someone as soon as I got to the airport in Tampa. It's just amazing. You just have to go, and you're not alone. And it's not just you and your business in your room or your house or wherever you work it from. You're not alone. You're not.
Yes, and that is why we do the power hours. We had said to Nicole this weekend, like, we don't do these power hours and these trainings and stuff because we need them. We know how to work our business. We know that when we need to work our business. We do these power hours to get with you guys. And so that's why showing up is important. Like, there is something that one of the top leaders said that I've held on to since the beginning, and it's, you got to show up to go up. If you want to reach higher, you need to surround yourself with higher people. And just because, and that might not be us, That might be you stalking another leader. That might be you finding somebody that's not even, yes, I said stalking. That might not be you. It could be you, like in a book. It could be you finding somebody that's not even in this company that inspires you. You just have to surround yourself with people that make you feel good. So that's why we're always giving you guys trainings and things like that. That's all I have.
Yeah, I agree to all of that. Power hours are amazing. That's how Stephanie and I, that's how we promoted to, like, that's how I promoted to every rank, was I powered every night with Stephanie. I just said, hey, can we get on Zoom? She said, yep. We got on Zoom and just worked. Y'all can do that together. You can text me. You can say, are you working? I probably am. And if I am and I'm not being a mom, I will get on a power hour with you. I don't care if it's just me and you. I'm all for it, because that's what got me to where I am. And I still do them every single night, sometimes by myself, sometimes with some of you. So,
and shout out to Maya. She's always in the group, like, hey, does anybody want to get on a power hour? Like, that is freaking amazing. So if you're getting on and you just like feel alone and you're like, hey, I want to work with somebody, put in the group, hey, I'm working, does anybody want to work with me? I guarantee you somebody will get on. And if we can't get on, you guys can use our Zoom code. Like, we can give it to you guys. You guys just have to ask. So just make sure you're plugging in, staying plugged in, feeling the fire, following other leaders, and staying in touch.
yes. All right, let's end the year strong. Let's end September strong, and let's all go into 2020 just on fire. I'm so excited. Thank you, everybody, for getting on here.